Hey everyone, it's Ometer, and today I am making a love bug shaker Valentine for my design team project for CC Designs. Now, I thought there's this rubber stamp. There are several bugs. There's a ladybug, this bee, and also I have used the other ones in my previous project, which was a butterfly. So I wanted to do a love bug. And then I'm like, you know what? I want to do a shaker card. Then I want to do this and this and that. So I decided that a love bug should be pink and red for Valentine's Day instead of yellow, because if you guys follow my channel, you guys may know that I don't like yellow. I don't like coloring yellow. I don't like doing stuff with yellow. I just don't because I'm crazy. So I decided to do this little love bug bee in pinks and reds. I started out with the pinks and I used RV000, RV00, and RV02. And I even used, as you can see here, here's the RVs that I'm using. I started from, I did a little bit of wash of the lighter color just to then layer over the darker color because it's easier for you to blend out. And here is the RV02. This is the darkest of the colors that I used, and I didn't want it to be too dark. I was trying to get that bubblegum kind of cotton candy look. So I went ahead and colored that. And of course, as you guys know, this is what usually takes the longest. I went ahead and went back and forth because this is the first time I've done it. Now, I also did the bee stripes in the same pink color. In the same pink colors. I was looking at this unicorn card to see if I wanted to use those corals, but I went ahead and decided to go with R's, with the reds. Now, I did a little bit of this R22 just to get it started because reds are the hardest things for me to do. They always bleed, they're always too dark or whatnot. Now, I went ahead and over that R22 just to get it going. To be able to blend it, I used R29. Then I came in with R27, and I finished it with R24. It was the lightest of the Rs that I use, and probably everybody on YouTube uses it as well. And this is the R24, which I'm then just filling in the white parts. Now, I don't do so much of the blending because you wanted to have the darker tones and the darker of the reds. But I did go back in with my R29 just to give it a little bit more shading. I'm telling you, reds are the hardest for me to do. Now, I go ahead and I then use my my colorless blender to kind of fix the little boo-boo areas that I might have bled over because red bleeds a lot. And I color in the mouth with the same pinks with the RV02, RV02, and RV000. And I go in with my E01, E000, E000, and E00 to color in the faces. I try to do the shading, and then I go into the center part with the lighter colors. And then I blend it all with the E000. Now, before I was done, I also wanted to do the R30, which is the red that I use for the blushes. This is the R30. Instead of using the R20, which is a little dark, I just like to have just a little bit of coloring. And then I go over it again with the E000. And again, here I am with my magic blender with the zero. What it does is it actually blends the ink into the cardstock if you've used too much ink, if it like bled over or something like that. So to treat the wings, I just did a little bit of C3, C0, C1, and I then went again with my blender on the center to kind of blend it out to give it kind of that translucent, transparent wing color. I'm trying to put my mess away here. I just take my Martha Stewart scissors and I fussy cut them. And here, look, I realized that the skin on the hand was not good enough, and as I'm getting closer and I'm doing the fussy cutting, I noticed certain little areas where I maybe need to fill in a little spot or something went over. I went over the line, and I just wanted to go ahead and kind of fix it up. Now, I just fussy cut it, and I did skip the section between the leg and the head just because I wanted to get rid of the excess paper and then go in and cut that part because it is a little tricky. There isn't a die for this rubber stamp, but it is so cute, and the shape makes it easy to cut. I just went ahead and did some fussy cutting, just get the little sections in there, and the key is a very, very sharp scissor. Now I'm going to go ahead and make the background of the sacred card, and I wanted to use this brand new honeycomb stencil that's also from the new January release, and I just went ahead and placed it over some heavyweight cardstock, and I'm using 3 colors. I'm using Lawn Fawn, Ballet Slipper, Bubblegum, and a Lobster. So I'm starting from the bottom left, and I'm just going to have a ombre gradient effect, and instead of going from up to down, I'm going to go from one side to the other, diagonal. So I start with the ballet slipper, and then the bubble gum, and then at the top part I bring in the lobster. So it goes just like our little love bug. It goes from lighter to darker reds, because that's just what I think of when I think Valentine. And even the sentiment, I also do the sentiment, and the sentiment is from the new stamp set, the new bug, a little love bug collection of the January release, and also the Love You sentiment stamp from the January release as well. I'm telling you, everything is from the January release for this card, because I got carried away, along with the in and out scalloped in and out circles, because I just thought they were perfect. I'm telling you, I love these shaker cards, because they are all, I mean, all of these in and out frame dies, because they're all of they're all ready for shaker cards. And I'm sorry, it's the new it's the Cutie Bug clear stamp, and also the honeycomb stencil, and the Love You sentiment clear stamp. Of course, I'm not paying attention. Now, here's what I did. I went ahead and I stamped the Love You from the Love You sentiment stamp set, which has so many other ones that you can use to make a full sentiment. And I also took the sentiment from the Cutie Bug collection, stamp collection, where it says "You're my little love bug," and I just cut out the "my little," you know, I mean you're mine, and it says love bug, basically. And that's what I did. I'm sorry, I'm trying to read it and I'm trying to say it. This is the worst voiceover in time, okay? You guys, coffee's kicking in. I'm trying to get ready to go to work as well. So, you know, I'm trying to multitask. Now, I went ahead and I used circle dies to make the acetate circle that goes behind the screen, but I'm going to go ahead and now cut up the sentiment. I'm going to make it a fishtail banner, so I'm just trying to cut it, and since I stamped it as straight as I could on my Misty, I'm able to just cut it down so it doesn't occupy way too much space, but it does focus on the sentiment, the Love You, my little love bug. And I cut up the sentiment so many times just so the Y, the bottom of the Y, would fit in between the my little love bug. Here I am gluing the acetate, and I do use wet glue. I use Scotch tacky glue, and those tips I also have a link in the description. Of course, everything will be linked in the description. Here is the background that I stenciled, and I'm just going to see where I place it. And of course, I'm literally just wasting a whole background, so I'm going to try to use those other sections for a different card. Now, I was going to do the base of this in red, but then I realized, hey, the foam is going to be white, and this will kind of blend into it, and you get a little bit of a red and white underneath for the base. So now I'm just gluing this, and as you see, it's the frame, the in and out die has two pieces, so I just cut another one of those circles out of the same circle die that I cut the acetate, and I glue them. I'm basically here just, you know, gluing them all together. Here I am making the card. I basically made two of those sets, scored them on one section, and then just glued them down. And that is how you make a card to match your front. You don't have to have, you know, the regular square card, because I try to stay clear of just the regular square card, because these shapes are so cute and so fun. Now, I'm going to go ahead and make the little window. This is a 3M mounting foam, and I doubled it up to make the little frame, because I was going to go ahead and put the iridescent sequins right into the window, but I'm like, you know what, it's going to be kind of hard to set it into exactly where the scallops are from the base of the card. So I went ahead and just put down the background, the honeycomb background, and now, so I wouldn't smear any of the ink, I just went ahead and used a paper to cover it up. And here I am just using some of these sequins. I always either put too much or not enough, and you never know. But I like using iridescent sequins. Can I say it out loud? Because they pick up the colors that you use. So if you're having trouble finding sequins that match exactly with your project, don't. Just buy iridescent sequin, and they pick up the color, and whatever color is underneath them, it goes through. It is absolutely gorgeous, and it will literally go for every single one, every single card that you make. Now, I'm over here. I thought it was a genius idea to cut up the edge of the circle so it matches up. Then I'm like, Oh, wait, it has stitching on it. I've totally forgot about that. This is an older die set from CC Designs that's now retired. And so now you're going to sit here and watch me for like 45 minutes, I think, of trying to get the rounded edge just round enough to get it to go through the center of the circle. Now, in retrospect, maybe I could have taken the sentiment down farther, but I kind of wanted to go right in the middle and the little bug was on top. If you want everything centered in the center of your circle, no problem, easy peasy, but I wanted the banner to go straight through it and make it look like my little love bug was going through the top of it. Can you hear it shake? I'm sitting here shaking it as I'm trying to do this voiceover. But there it is, and now I'm just putting some mounting foam on my little love bug because it is too cute. I'm totally in love. I plan to use these colors again, these pinks, because they turned out to be that perfect bubblegum cotton candy pink that I wanted. And oh, and here I am just using scraps of my 3M mounting foam because I always end up with some bits and pieces, and this way I end up using them. But thank you guys for coming along. I hope you guys like my project. Check out the CC Designs site. All of the links will be in the description. All of these products, literally everything except for the cardstock I used, is in the shop now in the January release. So thank you guys for stopping by, you guys. Hope you like it. Look at my little love bug. Absolutely love it. Thank you guys for stopping by, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye, everyone.